Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for telling a friend. We'd love that about you, right, Gina Grad?
That's right.
And Brad Williams.
That's right. Bald Bryan is gone. We have one confident USC egomaniac out and the other confident USC egomaniac in.
Perfect.
Well,
give a penny, take a penny.
Let's do it.
When the cat's away, the mice shall play. And Brad certainly fits that billing.
I'm just happy that that I might have a chance to actually win the game today.
Yeah, I think you're going to be good at Totally Topical TiVo Trivia, which I used to be good at, but I think I've slowed down a little. I was interested in hearing that you just got off the Chris Jericho cruise, and especially because you're with Kate Quigley, is her last name?
Yes.
And she was, people may remember 2 months ago when there was a bunch of ODs, maybe a fentanyl thing.
Right, yep.
It was 4 comedians,
Venice,
maybe 3 of them died. One was in the hospital in critical condition, and that was Kate, right?
Yes.
So what can you tell us about her?
I can tell you, she'll tell you. I can't tell you anything about what went down that night. I know nothing of that. I didn't want to ask her about that.
Yeah.
Kate's a longtime friend of mine, but that was her first gig back, essentially. And I can tell you that she didn't miss a step, that she was joyous, that she was very thankful to be back doing shows, and she's just a real sweetheart of a human being, and I love her to death, and I'm so happy that she's now back. Does she have a lot of thoughts about that night? Yes, of course.
Is it in her act?
How could you not?
At all?
She did talk about it a little bit, but because it was her first gig back, and literally her first gig back, it was trying to okay, let's just get back to zero. Let's get back to where I was before. But she definitely brought it up, and say what you want about wrestling fans. Very supportive.
Really?
Very supportive. Good people.
Well, it strikes me they don't judge as much as the rest of society. It'd be hard to maintain your status as a pro wrestling fan and do a lot of judging. Because a lot of the folks you worship and idolize do ingest a certain amount of controlled substances. And at some point, occasionally they have their out-of-ring antics.
Sure.
And again, if you were going to judge, first things first, somebody's just hit someone over the head with a folding chair, and you're cheering it on.
In undies.
That is not a judgmental type person.
No.
That's right.
You can't then look at somebody else and be like, but that wallpaper,
they really stepped off the curb.
Yeah. You can't really do that. And if you want a very supportive audience, the audience of the Chris Jericho Rock and Wrestling Rager at Sea triple whammy was
oh my god,
there I am. Yeah,
that's a full house.
That is a full house, full boat. This was Norwegian Cruise's first cruise back. With a full house. Everyone on that boat was required to be vaccinated. You had to do a test within 72 hours, and then to get onto the boat, there was an antigen test.
Wow.
So, everyone on there.
They're taking this very seriously.
Yeah, so they're taking it very seriously. We felt very confident. We were all just on the boat, just licking faces. It was a great time, so much so that the Chris Jericho Rock and Wrestling Rager at Sea 4-leaf clover, the fourth one, is setting sail in March, and I'm on that as well.
Wow.
Where did it go from? Where to where?
It went from Miami to Nassau in the Bahamas, and all right. Wrestling fans are famous for their chants. They like to chant during a match, and I've never been involved in a stand-up show before where I was doing my show at the theater, so it's like 1,000 people, and then I did a joke that went really well, and the whole theater started chanting, "This is awesome!
Wow!
This is awesome!"
My mom would have made a horrible wrestling fan.
Yeah, it was great. Now, don't get me wrong, I did one joke that bombed, and they did another famous wrestling chant when a wrestler does a move that doesn't necessarily go well. I did a joke that didn't go well, and they all chanted, "You fucked up! You fucked up!"
Wow!
And that's so it's a high and a low. Don't get me wrong.
They'll let you know.
Yeah, but I'm doing stand up in a wrestling ring. I'm inside a wrestling ring, doing stand up. running the ropes, doing roast jokes about the wrestlers, and then there's metal music, and then there's wrestling on the boat, and it was just awesome. I'm a big wrestling fan. I love AEW wrestling, and that's the company that was on the boat. So yeah, I just had an insanely good time. Chris Jericho, one of my favorite wrestlers of all time, now a guy who I can safely call a friend. And yeah, I'm now on the next cruise as the director of laughs because I got to book all the comedy on the cruise.
Wow.
So if you like the comedians on the cruise, thank me. If you didn't like them, fuck off. No one cares about your opinion. What do you know?
I remember back when I was a civilian, I've told you guys the story before, but my now deceased poor friend Philip the Juggler, he worked a lot of cruise ships.
Yeah.
And I, as a civilian I was making $12 an hour swinging a hammer at the time. When he told me about the cruise ship schedule, I was like...
Decadent.
Yeah, it's kind of it's an interesting thing when you talk to poor people. Like I had a guy work for me later on when I became rich, and he made, I don't know, 15, 20, 20, $25 an hour, something like that. But he knew that I lived in a big house and had a bunch of cars and made a bunch of money. And, he knew you could go out and do a corporate gig and get thousands of bucks and this, that, and the other. But one day, Mike's Hard Lemonade gave me a chopper for doing something for them. And it was probably worth $14,000.
Sure.
He couldn't get his mind around the fact that I got a motorcycle for free. He could wrap his mind around someone giving you $50,000 to go do some online something, but the free motorcycle, because it was coming.
Is it on layaway?
It was the same thing I do with my kid. He knows I go out, he knows I get paid, he knows what I do. But if I go out, do a show, make $300, and walk into his room at 10 o'clock at night and go, I just made $300 for 15 minutes of talk. He's like, oh, the 300, which doesn't cover his Uber Eats bill for 15 minutes, but somehow it's impressive. And when I was making $12 an hour and Philip the Juggler would go out on a 7-day cruise, and I'd say, so, in my mind, it's like, well, you'd perform, and when you're not performing, you got to clean the ship,
right? You bust tables.
You're working on that boat, right? And it's like, no, you perform twice in a week. And I'm like, well, what the rest of the time? What's going on? Are you rowing? What's going on? And he's like, oh, you're just a first-class passenger. Drinking, hanging out, eating at the buffet. I'm like,
so how much does this trip cost you?
Yeah, that's right.
I get paid for it.
And it was
over.
some ungodly amount of $7,000 or $6,000. I was like, oh my god, my god.
But the ass kicker to that story was he didn't consider that successful for what he wanted.
Well, it's weird because cruises, in terms of being a performer, they've kind of come back around. It used to be that where if he's a cruise ship comic, it's like, oh, he's failed, he's given up. He
didn't get that sitcom.
Yeah, he was famous back in the 70s, and now this is what he has to do to hold on. But now with these themed cruises, you get like the Weezer cruise or the Impractical Jokers cruise. I know my heterosexual life mate, Adam Ray, has been here talking about the New Kids on the Block cruise.
Hell yeah.
And now me on the Chris Jericho Rock and Wrestling Rager at Sea.
That's the whole spectrum.
Yes. Once you get the themed cruises, now everyone's on the boat. Everyone's got a similar mindset. Everyone's like they like the same thing. They're there for the same reasons. So yeah, the cruise ships now it's and also no judgment. No one was judging me when I put my head under the frozen yogurt machine and just let it drip over me like flash dance. like everyone goes, that's what you do.
Brad Cocky, Brad Cocky, Brad Cocky. He's just walking toward the soft swirl.
Yeah. Now there's a lot of rumors going along with the next Chris Jericho Rock and Wrestling Rager at Sea, the 4-leaf clover, leaving from Miami, going to Nassau in the Bahamas in March, with the ticket still available. Because I'm not the only dwarf on this boat anymore.
What?
They got the wrestler Hornswoggle, who is another dwarf wrestler, a dwarf wrestler, who many people think I am. We get confused for each other a lot. But he's also on the boat. So the rumors are flying. Will Brad and Hornswoggle
go ahead
finally go head to head.
Settle this
in in not a steel cage match, but a baby gate match.
A pack and play.
Yeah, and we'll just throw us in a pack and play. The weapons hung all over the ring.
Let's take those gates when you have a toddler and you put them at the top of the staircase.
Yeah,
and
baby
we'll just
gates.
Take 4 of those. And we'll zip time together.
Yeah. We have baby gates in our house, and sometimes I go and do sets late at night, and sometimes my wife forgets to leave it open, and those are nights I sleep on the couch because I can't get over the baby gate. I can't for the life of it.
Now I'm guessing there's different amounts of alcohol consumption sort of based on the audience, you know?
Sure.
And like, you do a show in Canada, those people are drinking their asses off over there. Like it's regional, but sometimes it's by profession. And we do a Carolla drinks tour. We do a Carolla cruise.
They are serious
they're
about their
drinking
alcohol.
over there.
Yeah.
I'm guessing the wrestling fans are not teetotalers.
They got good and sauced.
Yeah.
They got very drunk. And the best part is on the Chris Jericho Rock and Wrestling Rager at Sea. You have to call it by its long proper name. Because they're all wrestling fans and because there's a pool, oftentimes they're trying to like backyard wrestle in the pool when they get too drunk. So you're seeing power bombs off of balconies into the deep end. It's pretty great. I'm really surprised no one died.
How many days is it, and how many sets do you have to do?
I do 2 sets.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
And two 20-minute sets.
Wow, it's a short set.
It's a short set. Exactly. 2 20-minute sets. They have all the comedians do a show together. On this past one, it was me, Kate Quigley, and Ryan Niemiller. Ryan Niemiller from America's Got Talent. You may remember him. I refer to him. He's a friend. He likes this term. Lobster Boy. He's got like 2 fingers on one hand and 1 finger on the other. I call him Lobster Boy. He calls me, midget, and we have a good time. We steal each other's parking spaces. It's fun. So yeah, there he is. We went to have a steak dinner together before the cruise, and so it was just 3 comics doing 20-minute sets, and we do 2 shows. You 2 different 20-minute sets. It's the life. It's great.
Does when you go to a steakhouse with Lobster Boy,
oh no,
and the staff hears you calling him Lobster Boy, and then you ask the waiter the specials, does he go, well, we do have a and turf. I mean, it's a
certain crustacean.
We bring a live main.
You know what? Lancaster.
You can get the tail
of the crustacean. Between him being Lobster Boy and me with shrimp. We just avoided the whole seafood section.
We both got filet mignon.
You can't get the cocktail. You can't get the surf and turf.
Yeah, but my dad, God bless him, I could never order shrimp, and I love shrimp. It's great. It's fantastic.
It's all jumbo to you.
It's wonderful. It's practical lobster to me. Right. And I can't order shrimp around my dad because he does the same joke literally every time where I order it, he goes, ha, I guess you are what you eat. And every time. Not some of the time.
Have you ever thought about doing what I do to Mike August frequently when he does a joke in front of me?
Oh.
No, I just, like he'll go, oh, we're gonna get a ball puller and
pull your balls.
Emerson, we're gonna pull it, blah blah. And at some point I go, Mike, I'm a comedian. I'm just, you know what I mean? The bar's a little higher. It's. I'm not going to double over with laughter over your lame pun that you're making. Can you do that with your dad?
No, not at all. Not at all. He's the guy where he does the joke and he pulls out some one-liner from the 1950s. Yeah. Then he goes, "You can use that."
Right.
Like, yes. I can go on stage and do the sis boom ba joke from Johnny Carson in the 70s, and it's going to crush pop.
Yeah, because that's what we want to hear in 2021, traveling salesman jokes.
Yes.
That have a theme.
Yes, it's that. And he's locked into that, and that's fine. My dad and I can't really complain about the humor because we will frequently have pun-offs where someone will bring in say, hey, we're having fish for dinner, and then my dad and I kind of
lock eyes,
look at each other, and my mom goes, oh shit, because she hates him, and then my dad will be like, are we eating it just for the halibut? And I'll be like, is it up to scale? Right. And it'll
oh my God, stop!
It'll just be that for a half hour with my mom just looking up divorce lawyers.
All right. Well, what is worse? Zero joking dad or dad that jokes too much?
I would definitely say zero.
Agreed.
Joking dad. I will take the dad jokes. I will take the attempt at humor, because even the attempt at humor and the fail, it's all about the intent. The intent was to make you happy.
Mm-hmm. I totally agree.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I, as an adult woman, still say what my dad says. It makes no sense, and nobody laughs and nobody likes it. But at a restaurant, when the waiter would say, "So, how was everything?" he'd either hold his, licked plate clean up and say, I hated it, or he'd say, "As Shakespeare said, that was mighty good eating."
Well, I do this thing with my dad now. My dad never said anything, so I'm forced to say. I now say I've adopted other people's dads. I go, it's like Mark Garagus's dad used to say, and then
you insert yourself into that memory.
Yeah, that's right. Because Mark will do it all the time. Because his dad was a prosecutor, and then his dad became a defense attorney, and it was interesting. Speaking of that, because I'm just fresh off of Mark was just in here a half hour ago.
Okay. I can tell the mic's all messed up.
Yeah, he was saying that prosecutors, like his dad was a prosecutor, then became a defense attorney or vice versa. I can't remember, but they should be able to see both sides of the aisle.
Absolutely,
because he was talking about Sunny Hostin, I think, on The View or something. And it's like, she's a friend of mine, but she's wrong on a lot of this stuff because she's a prosecutor and she sees everything through the eyes of the prosecutor. And she's like, she doesn't know what it's like to be sitting with someone who's going to potentially do the rest of their life in prison.
Right.
Yeah. She wants Kyle Rittenhouse locked away and throw away the key. But if you've sat with that teenage boy and been in charge of his life, you approach it from a different perspective.
It's funny you say that because my dad, also an attorney, but strictly defense. So he has that side, and he always takes up the side of the defense. He's never fry him and lock away the key.
I'm not a trained attorney, but I do that with white people. I just take the side because, that's my only expertise.
And at the same time, I do that with comics. Whenever they do the thing of, did a joke go too far? I will always take the side of the comedian because I will always be like, no, we need to have the attempt at funny.
Right.
It's like, well, he should know where the line is. We have no idea where the line is. We have to say the joke and find out where the line is.
Yeah, he doesn't create the line. The audience creates the line. Right. Are they laughing? Are they not laughing? Do they get it? Do they not get it?
Yeah, because if we do jokes and the audience doesn't laugh, then we go, well, that didn't work.
Yeah, you recalibrate.
Yeah.
Yeah, people should say, because they always do this, he, she, they cross the line, but we should really say my line.
Yes.
Because obviously everyone has their own line, and mine is much further away than yours is.
Yes.
So yours is much more easily crossed, and we should just modify it by calling it what it really is. You crossed my line, which isn't Brad's line, which isn't Dave Chappelle's line.
Right, because there was that case when Louie C.K. did the jokes about the Parkland shooting, and someone recorded it, put it up on the internet, and it was like the second Louie C.K. scandal, and it was going nuts. And you heard people say like, well, did he actually think that was funny? On the tape, people are laughing.
Right.
On the tape. So you can't say like, well, that's not funny. Not to you, to that room.
You are so right. And I don't know what the joke is, but that's why I've always said, if you go back and you look at, Richard Pryor, Eddie Murphy Raw, or something that we would consider pretty offensive by today's standards.
Sure.
You can't retroactively cancel someone when on a live album an arena is erupting with laughter.
Yes.
So that we don't consider that now.
Absolutely.
Louis just got nominated for a Grammy, right?
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Him and Dave Chappelle both. So
everybody.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah, well, maybe the woke ship or the USS Woke
is starting
to tack to the right.
The woke ship lollipop. Rich Banks, get on it. Get on that, Rich Banks.
Please.
Woke ship lollipop.
It's a sweet trip.
Where he, him, her, she, they are all happy.
That's right.
We have,
go Rich Banks.
Speaking of comedy, Gina's better half, Andy.
Yeah, this was so funny. Randomly.
Hey, can I say this?
Yeah, please.
shouldn't this better half be a two-way street? I feel like women have usurped it. Like the guy has to go, my better half, and refer to his wife.
Yeah, I didn't love that you called him my better half.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like anniversaries. When did you guys take these things over?
Yeah, and like you're not supposed to
Valentine's
congratulate
Day.
me on getting married. You're supposed to congratulate him on winning such a prize.
He's on TMZ Live.
Yeah,
What?
so they reached out because he does all this stuff, whatever, and the topic was Matthew McConaughey and the governor's poll, and they think it's just going to be him giving his opinion, but Andy really does do impressions for a living. I mean, I don't do them when we go home. This is how
he pays his rent?
Pretty much.
I like
it. So they weren't expecting this.
Can I tell you his number one impression?
Yeah.
Like when they go to actors, my number one role is a father.
Yeah.
His number one, I'm going to kill those people. My kids don't crack my top 10, but Andy's number one impression is of a husband who doesn't cheat.
Yes. Impression.
That's his number one. That's his best. Yeah. His Bill Cosby is serviceable, but
it's okay.
The husband who doesn't cheat, that's his greatest role.
I totally agree. So they went to him, and again, this is our shitty office with the padding on the wall, so it's not great audio, but this is him giving his opinion on Matthew McConaughey, but then going into something else. They just took a poll, and he's number one for governor of Texas. Yeah.
Based on no policies or anything. We just like that idea.
I want to see a shirtless governor.
Yeah. Sure. All right, here it is.
Andy Harris in Los Angeles. I think it's great that Matthew McConaughey is leading in the polls, and historic in a few ways. Not only could he make history by being the first Oscar-winning governor, he could be the first candidate in history to filibuster during the debate. Now, let me answer that question with a question. What is a governor? What is a person? What is the purpose of life? As we're all hurling through the cosmos on this blue marble, facing our inevitable extinction.
This is pretty good. This is pretty good. I mean, go ahead. Good filibuster. What do you do for a living? That was really good.
I do impressions of Matthew McConaughey.
All right. Look, I hope you make a good living off of that. He'd make more if he's governor. You'd make a lot more. You'd make a lot more.
So I think he's going to do it next month too. But that was fun to have him on doing that.
So he's got the S thing that he does too. That's great. That's a great impression.
His old improv troupe used to be called the Matthew McConaughey's, and they would do the McConaughey. But I mean, that was a whole thing. But he does. He does.
So hoping he wins governor.
But he does everyone. He does everyone. But this was fun.
Yeah. Speaking of doing everyone, his best impression is that of a devoted husband.
Wait a second. This weekend we're going out of town, and I scheduled myself a 90-minute massage. Should I put some sort of a tracker on him because he's not going to be there?
Yeah, he doesn't need 90.
Fuck.
Yeah. Where are you going?
Arizona.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Where are you staying?
Wouldn't you like to know?
I would.
Okay. At the Fairmont.
Oh, nice. Oh, that's a nice
lovely.
place. Oh, they're going to do it up for Christmas.
Mm-hmm. We've been before, and it's divine.
Big, beautiful, luxury, whatever.
600 million lights.
Right.
That they do these. Yeah, it's gorgeous. So we're going to do a little out of town escape.
Nice.
Yeah. So apparently we're not going to have a honeymoon. We're just going to have random weekends away, and it'll add up to a honeymoon.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Works out.
Also, speaking of reasonable doubt, we spoke to Albert Watkins, and I'll play the clip of now. Albert Watkins, I think I have his paper here. He was attorney for the insurrection shaman guy.
Oh, Chansley.
Okay.
Jacob?
Yeah, Jacob Chansley.
He was his defense attorney.
Yeah,
Okay.
He was his attorney, his defense attorney. He was the he was the guy known as the QAnon Shaman. He was the guy with the big Viking
the water buffalo hat
on. As a matter of fact, if you can find a shot of Fred Flintstone, I think I think he originally rocked that same water buffalo hat.
QAnon Shaman would have been a better character in the Hanna-Barbera universe than Grape Ape.
Oh yeah.
I would definitely watch a QAnon Shaman cartoon.
Grape Ape just said Grape Ape.
Right. That was his answer for everything.
Yeah,
Grape Ape.
Grape Ape. Grape Ape. That's all he did.
How did they write such brilliant comedy back in the day?
Same hat.
In the same position.
Yeah.
All right. So first we'll play his news clip. So
wait, so did Fred Flintstone storm the Capitol?
Now that's fake news, Brad.
This is attorney, and he did this clip after the trial, and so Mark said, we got to talk to this guy.
After spending this much time talking to Jacob Chansley and learning about him, what do you think is appropriate accountability for the former president?
What do I think about his what?
What is an appropriate accountability for former President Trump?
Well, if you're asking my opinion, my opinion is meaningless. I will say that I would probably be far more effective over a beer with former President Trump, even if he didn't have a beer, because I understand he doesn't drink beer, but I'd have a beer. And I'd tell him, you know what? You got a few fucking things to do, including clearing this fucking mess up and taking care of a lot of the jackasses that you fucked up because of January 6th. Now, in the meantime, I might talk to him about some other things that I'd agree with him on. But my opinion doesn't mean shit.
Oh, my God.
Your dad would never speak that way, would he?
I love that.
I love this guy.
I love this man.
Good. And that's in a press conference with a bunch of microphones in your face. They're all going to be running the clip. And I'm loving this new more free language that we're having on TV now. Like pretty much every shit is now fine. No one bleeps it.
Yeah.
No one bleeps shit. You can do that on any cable show, and it's just that's so refreshing.
Well, find what's his name from CNN. I was just watching it over the weekend. We played it the other day, which is oh God, I can't think of the reporter's name. Jim Acosta. Yeah, it was just bullshit. It's weird if you're old. It seems weird.
Yeah,
but as I've said, play the clip. We'll just play the clip for Brad. It's 10 seconds long.
Okay.
Employee of the Year. That's right, Tucker. You've earned it.
I think we'll try it again with the audio worked out.
Does he look like George Clooney's far less successful and handsome brother?
Yeah, he's got a little bit of that.
That's still a compliment.
He's Fred Clooney.
Yeah, he's Fred Clooney.
Yeah.
So you talked to that guy. You talked to the attorney.
Oh, yeah, we'll play that clip in a second.
Oh, good.
Let's try this file. Maybe it's not corrupt.
It's that time of the year. The days are getting shorter. It's cold outside. It's also when we start looking back at the past year. And what a year it was over on Fox, or as I've described it this year, the bullshit factory. Just in the last week.
It was fun.
Wow.
See, for me, he was like, hey, it's that time of year. The weather's changing. The leaves are starting to fall. I thought it was like time to pour a cup of cocoa.
Right.
Yeah.
And
The
snuggle
frost is
up
on
in
the
front of the
pumpkin.
fire with a good book.
Right.
It's like, and there's the bullshit factory.
Is it just because of his voice? Because his voice is that very newsman voice. So I'm wondering if you deliver news in a newsman voice, if you can say, well, it's that time of year again where me and the missus are going to put nipple clamps on each other and dress up in funny outfits. I'm going to watch our neighbor Bob plow her like the field hoe that she is, and I'm just going to go full cuckold. I think if you do it with that voice,
That gravitas.
it's fine. If you're up there going, I tell you what, man, that Fox News is some bullshit. That might get flagged. But if you're up there that is the network of utter and complete bullshit, and we do
It's a good point.
I think it's the voice.
Yeah. Now, to me, I kind of have the delight I had when I was a kid and you would find out your fourth grade teacher's first name.
Oh, God.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Mr.
Third
Abrams
rail.
is Rick.
Yeah, he doesn't look like
He's a Rick.
It was felt naughty.
It's
We're getting away with
something you
something.
did- you weren't supposed to
Someone
know.
was in trouble.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yeah, my favorite news clip, and we can never find it because it's from 1987 or something, but a million years ago, I was watching the evening news. I think it was Dan Rather, and he was it was a story about 2 Live Crew. I haven't told it in a long time. And he's like, 2 Live Crew, the renegade rap group, the controversial rap group was arrested in Dade County. Of course, their number 1 hit, Me So Horny. I was so delighted to hear him say that.
Well, one of the 3 impressions I do is of someone that isn't relevant anymore, but I do a Ted Koppel.
Wow.
Oh, that's a nice
So we can do Ted Koppel reads 2 Live Crew lyrics. We can do that right now.
I would love it.
Well, we should find some
fire
of those.
those off.
I will
Give me
play
some
you.
2 Live Crew lyrics.
I'll play you a little Albert.
Dance too much booty in your pants.
We'll find you some Me So Horny.
So horny. Oh, so horny. Oh, so horny. Me love you long time.
I'm sold. That's the top story of the night.
All right, do we have that Albert
Someone
Watkins
give me the lyrics to Wet Ass Pussy.
Gina, you could just show him your thigh tattoo and he could read it right off that, or we could waste a sheet.
Let's save the trees.
I'm just looking at Gina since she heard the Matthew McConaughey impression from her husband, and it's a damn rainforest down there.
All right, we'll play the clip.
The guy was naked for 6 hours in Washington, D.C. in January before he entered the Capitol, with tattoos on his nipples and horns in his head, and fur and a megaphone and a flag. Is he violent? No. Did he demonstrate violence? None whatsoever. He was not destructive. He wasn't threatening. And he sure as hell wasn't leading an insurrection to overthrow the government and have people follow him so that he can be in charge. He was, and I mean this quite literally, he was really a vulnerable young man. The guy is a savant. He's gentle. He's extraordinarily smart. He has a mental health disorder that was diagnosed in 2006, and nobody bothered to tell him. For 15 years, he had the opportunity to had he known, to employ his intelligence and his overall commitment and discipline to getting the help that would have put him in a position of never, ever having been, Forrest Gump on crack on January 6th. A fair sentence would have been to get that kid some help in 2006. The government knew about it. The psych evaluation in 2021 confirmed that which the government already knew in 2006. The Department of Justice knew in 2021 that my client was in the military in 2006. The government deployed every resource known to mankind, and they are limitless resources to scrutinize and look into the background of each and every one of those criminal defendants before they charge them. You don't think for a second that the government didn't say, hey, wait a minute, that guy over there with the fur and the horns, the guy with the tattooed nipples, let's do the following. He won the best costume contest of the day. He is now, we're going to make him the face of the insurrection. Jacob Chansley, the shaman, he will be to January 6th what the swoosh is to Nike. And let's fry his ass.
Wow.
Yeah, he had serious mental issues.
So he said so Jacob Chansley was the only one who wasn't aware that he had mental issues. They said the government didn't tell him for 15 years. I'm confused about that. Unless that was like the military medical sheet that they didn't share with him or something.
I don't know what he was privy to, but he was basically saying the guy's mental illness. And it's interesting, we break everything up into politics because the folks that normally seem pretty concerned about mental illness as it pertains to criminality didn't cut this guy any slack whatsoever. He was just a terrorist who was a white supremacist terrorist who was there to overthrow the government. He's he has mental issues.
I wasn't watching the trial or anything, but this is the first I'm hearing of his mental illness.
Yeah, it's everything sort of has a theme, you know what I mean? Like if somebody has a mental illness and commits a crime and it's the right kind of crime versus the wrong kind of crime, then we have a lot of thoughts about mental illness. This guy was not going to get, none of the ladies from The View were going to discuss this guy's mental illness. So that's our new world order.
Yeah, I think the lesson you could take from the QAnon Shaman is that if you're participating in a riot, a insurrection, a storming, a whatever, don't have the craziest outfit.
Yeah, pro.
Blend in.
No.
Blend in.
You may want to go with my plywood-themed jumpsuit even.
I heard about
blend in.
Just lay against
Go full like Wile E. Coyote, just jump against the side and plywood jumpsuit.
The other thing, too, is you go the crazy outfit, then you get the handle then essentially you become the poster boy for this event.
Yeah.
Now, there are other people involved in the event that could have done more damage than you.
Sure. But you're the lightning rod.
You are the poster boy, and then we have to punish the people who are involved with this event. So who's going to get? He's literally the tip of the spear.
Yeah, like there's literally people from January 6th that assaulted police officers.
Right.
But they're not getting the kind of attention that the QAnon shaman is getting because he's got the crazy hat.
They were smart. They went to Old Navy. They got themselves, a pair of Dockers and a sweatshirt, and then you can do whatever you want.
It's so funny you bring this up because, and it all comes full circle. My dad, as a defense attorney, I remember him telling me growing up, he goes, "Son, you can never break the law." Mm-hmm. Because when they get the lineup, no one's going to be like, you know what? It could have been that 6'2" guy.
Right.
Everyone's like, no, the midget did it. Like, that's what they're all going to do. So he's like, you can't break the law. You're going to stand out.
Well, it's like Garrigus' dad used to say. I'm 6'2". I never got the speech where I could just run wild on the streets because I was of average height. But that's a good point.
Yeah, like I can't do anything because I'll get found out. So I try to not do that.
We have someone up here on line 1 whose wife is emotionally cheating.
Oh boy.
With someone. That'd be an upgrade for Gina at this point. Terry, 32, Iowa.
Yep.
Yeah.
How's it going?
What define emotionally cheating? And
yeah. So humans, we're creatures of habit, and you notice trends, and I had noticed that, my wife was texting a little too much. So, not something that I normally do, but I got on her phone and saw that she was what I would consider inappropriately texting another man. And, day after morning, I confronted her, and she told me tidbits, but really it was only the stuff that I had her dead to rights on. Like I saw pictures, I saw the messages.
Pictures?
I'm looking at,
What kind of pictures?
And, what you'd expect.
Oh, boy.
Suggestive or full on, like...
hold on.
And we're not trying to do this to make this into a sex talk or because we're trying to get a chubby here. Like there is a difference between, hey, here's a photo of me and my husband and we're in bathing suits on vacation, and hey, here be them titties.
Yeah,
I'd say that like one, Ted Koppel. I mean,
and there's a difference between that and here be them titties.
Yeah, and that's what I saw.
Oh,
well,
boy.
You saw them titties.
She did some, I guess what you'd call some cleaning up, right? I deleted the messages.
Oh, sure.
But then I'm not an idiot, and I looked at the deleted photos, and they didn't make it my way, so they obviously went for me. So that's how I connected the two.
Well, now hold on, now Terry. The screen says your wife is emotionally cheating on you, which normally. And by the way, there's a bit. We did a man show bit, I think, called Rent a Gay or something for this, because I was prepared to spin this into a happy yarn, which is, all right, so she's talking about going antiquing with her buddy over there.
Get all the yapping out with him.
You're freed up to watch the game. But you're saying this I think, is taking a turn for the sexual, right?
Right, yeah, and, it didn't get to that, but I don't know.
How is it that you're sure it hasn't gotten to that?
Well, he does. He does live in Iowa, so she would have to do at least a 4-hour drive to find the next, the next male.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a lot of effort. So if she goes out for a 12-hour time, then he should be suspicious.
Are you in the sticks, Terry? As they say.
What do you mean by that?
Like a rural area?
In a rural area?
Oh, I guess a larger metropolitan area. But I live in a small town, so it's like 17, 18-minute commute.
All right, but why are you so sure she hasn't consummated this? Oh, boy. I don't know if that's a word you know.
Well, it's just the conversations that we've had. And, you know, I don't know. I want to be optimistic and believe what she's saying, but, you know.
2 questions.
You know, would be so sure.
How graphic are these pictures? Sorry.
I think it's dem titties.
You know, I mean, that's what it was. Nothing else that I could see.
Mm-hmm. Was her face in the picture?
She had sent him like portraits.
Do you have any clue who this might be? And is this a texting thing, like you said, or is this like an online thing?
Oh, yeah, no. I found the guy.
Ooh.
I called in a favor. I got his address. I went to his house.
Oh, that's not good.
Glad I asked.
Hey, I didn't get arrested, but
who is it? A coworker?
Yeah, so it's someone who lives near.
Right. Yeah, it's within the organization, not the same building. You know.
I like in Brad's mind, if you live in Iowa, you're in the Revenant.
Maybe it's a Kodiak bear.
I've been to Iowa. I've done shows in Davenport.
They have buildings with more than one story.
Yeah, I've been to Council Bluffs. You're right.
Yeah. I've been there. There's a lot of greenery. I mean, you got Des Moines and not a lot else.
So what'd the guy say when you confronted him?
Well, his face went white. I don't think he expected something like that. His wife was there. Kids showed up. So I did the right thing, and I stepped away. But I told the wife I'd be back in an hour. Make sure that you know, you guys are ready to receive me. And came back and
kids showed up.
Wow.
See, this is why I always keep a Reese's peanut butter cup in my pocket, because if my kid's showing up when I'm squaring off with the dude I've been sexting with and his wife or whatever, and he starts coming up driveway, I just chuck it, fetch. Kid will immediately turn.
Smart.
No one will. You wing someone with a peanut butter cup, no one doesn't retrieve it.
So you don't do like the Billy Zane from Titanic move? You don't grab your kid and just hold him up and go, "I have a child. I have a child."
Oh no! It was their children, right?
Yeah.
Oh boy!
So did you go back in an hour, and were they ready to receive you?
Only the wife was there. He was too much of a coward to stay.
So did your wife find out?
I mean, did you do the right thing and then start sending dick pics to the wife?
Right. And where's he buried?
No, but I mean, she did come on to me, but that's not my style. I'm not a guy like that.
Oh boy,
I love it.
Does your wife know you confronted the dude?
Oh yeah.
Oh boy.
See, to me, this is a little more, and I think you kind of hit it on the head, Adam, where you said it. This is a little more than emotionally cheating, because when I think emotionally cheating, I think of like, oh, you commented on your ex's Facebook photo who lives 9 states away, or it's something like that. This seems like something he's in the town. There's been photos, and Gina, you actually brought up a really good point where you said her face was in the photo, like, and you asked that because if her face is in the photo, that means it's a little bit more trusting. It's a little more like,
I think so.
Yeah, where if it's just damn titties, then it can't be confirmed to be her.
I was going to ask Gina, can you get your face and your titties in the same photo, or is that you do like a sort of mosaic?
Have you
type?
ever heard of a selfie stick? Because it doesn't sound like you do. It gives you another 4 feet.
So you get one titty in
there.
Selfie stick combined with the fisheye lens.
By the way, we're not trying to like make Terry suicidal during the holidays.
Oh yeah.
So cheer him up, please.
All right, I'll cheer you up, Terry.
Turn into a Mr. Brightside.
Do you guys have kids?
Yeah, a daughter.
All right,
She's 8.
I'm out of ideas.
Oh,
okay. And does it seem look, you and your wife can either call to life or get into counseling, right?
Right.
Okay, you thinking about some counseling?
I think that's the direction I want to go, but I don't know, man. Like, I look her in the face. You know, we've been together 10 years, and it's like I'm looking at a stranger.
Yeah. How old's your kid?
She's 8.
I would say this as well. If you're not going to be able to emotionally get over this, don't even try. I mean, just nip it in the bud. Half the people get divorced in this country. You'll just be in the half that got divorced.
Yeah.
It's not, you could go to counseling, but if you can't get past it, it's not worth putting the effort into.
And if she's in, I don't know if there's other things in the marriage that I'm not trying to victim blame, but gave her the permission to have that wandering eye. But it's like if she's already
if she's
entertaining the opportunity of going other places, then you deserve more than that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm of two minds of it. There's two threads. Either it was a thrill type of deal or something's missing. Right. And in my confrontation with her, she described how, it was more of something was missing, I'm not as available to her or something like that. And to me, it kind of felt cheap just because, that's the excuse you're going to go with.
Yeah. Your fault.
And that almost sounds like this is something where she'll never admit to this, but it's kind of sounds like she secretly wanted to get caught. Like where she knows that if she gets caught, now you do get to talk about this, and she does get to vent. But yeah, I'm with Adam. You kind of got to look as if you can never look at her the same way again. Pull the ripcord now and continue to be a good dad. That's the most important thing. But yeah, if you can get counseling, if this is something that you feel you can work through, great. If not, better to get rid of the marriage sooner rather than later.
Merry Christmas.
I wonder if the Iowa therapist is like the old Maytag repair guy, just
waiting
around
around.
in the office. Someone knocks on the door. It's like, what? Cobwebs, opens the door.
Sorry for banging the table, but goddamn, that was funny.
You know what I mean?
Consults the Farmer's Almanac.
All right. Do we have Rent-A-Gay anywhere?
We love you, Terry.
I can't find it. I don't know if maybe was it called anything else that you can think of?
Yeah, it was must have been called Rent-A-Friend, maybe.
The only word rent that I could see is just Rent-A-Porn.
No.
Yeah,
don't click on that.
No, we did a man show bit. God, I think we played it before.
Sure.
But I can't remember.
Looking.
All right. And I also want two live crew lyrics for Ted Koppel.
Oh,
you
right
got it.
Yep.
All right.
We got it.
First, let me hit Tommy John this Cyber Monday. That's today, right? Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah. Cyber Monday's today, man. It's softness season. I stock up on some Tommy John underwear, loungewear, and the pajamas as well. You can shop their Cyber Monday sale right now. Give you the gift of comfort and give it to everyone on your list, including yourself. Over 16 million pairs sold. Tommy John, man, once I started in with Tommy John, I never left the house without wearing my Tommy Johns. They don't have customers, they have fanatics. They are just the best, and their loungewear is so comfortable, especially as it gets a little cooler outside. This holiday, make your family even more comfortable with the gift of Tommy John loungewear, underwear, and bras. Best pair you'll ever wear, or it's free. Guarantee, right, Dawson?
During Tommy John's Cyber Monday sale, get 20% off site-wide plus free shipping at TommyJohn.com/Adam. Get 20% off plus free shipping for a limited time only at TommyJohn.com/Adam. Order now so your gifts arrive before the holidays. TommyJohn.com/Adam. See site for details.
All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back with Brad Williams reading two live crew lyrics as Ted Koppel right after this.
Totally innocuous word that sounds dirty when Mike Dawson says it.
Stuffing.
Ew. Let's get back to the Adam Carolla Show.
Brad Williams hanging in with us. And as promised, the Ted Koppel. Now, look, you listen to a lot of podcasts. You hear a lot of Ted Koppel doing a lot of lyrics to Two Live Crew. Let's face it.
So
I
let's
didn't
face
invent
it.
this genre.
It's a hack bit.
But
We know.
But I think we perfected it here on the Adam Carolla Show.
Yes. Now, this is from the Exquisite song, Pop That Pussy.
Mm-hmm.
I like big booty. I like big booty and big old titties. Bitch, you know you've been fucked by many, so come and be my private dancer. I got some money, if that's the answer. I really want to be with you. I get hard after seeing you. How hard? Hard like a rock. When you make that pussy pop.
Wow. There he is.
The great Ted Koppel, everybody.
I'm Ted Koppel. Stay tuned for Nightline.
That was a thing of beauty.
And I would consider that's considered a love song, I think.
Yeah. Not a first dance at a wedding, but nice.
Yeah, it's nice.
Because I was thinking the white man's love songs like I'd like to get to know you.
Butterfly kisses.
I'd like to get to know you.
Yeah.
All right. I have a episode.
What you should do is just make that pussy pop.
Somebody grab that.
I still need a little more of that, Brad. I need more Two Live Crew lyrics.
Okay.
Or maybe...
here's one about freaky bitches.
Oh, all right. I enjoy those types of women. Okay. Oh, this is verse 2 from the esteemed lyricist, Fresh Kid Ice. God, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get through this. Freaky bitches with plenty of ass. Roll into the music and shaking real fast. Bend over backwards. Make me shout. And work that pussy. In and out. Moving their booty with plenty of action. Bringing to the men more satisfaction. Doing what they feel to turn us out. Just work that pussy all the way out.
Nice.
That's beautiful.
That was wonderful.
Now stay tuned for Nightline.
Oh man,
I can't do many impressions. I'm not an impressionist, but I have a couple of weird ones, and
you sure do.
Ted Koppel's definitely one of them.
But wouldn't it be awesome if he was elected governor of Texas, and there'd be a whole renaissance for you and your Ted Koppel, just to bring it full circle?
I mean, if he ever debates Matthew McConaughey, we're gonna have a time.
My head and ovaries are gonna explode.
SNL is gonna call me.
Yep.
Maybe I can get some of that Pete Davidson pussy.
All right, I have a stupid or liar. I like to play stupid or liar, and at some point we got to get an intro and an outro because I feel there's going to be a stupid or liar every week.
I'll get on that. I like that idea.
There you go.
So I was watching the news, and the Energy Secretary Jennifer Granholm was up there, and she was talking about releasing strategic oil supplies because fuel is so expensive.
Yes.
Sure.
That they're going to go into our strategic oil supply.
Yes.
And we're going to release 50 million barrels, and that's going to lower the price of gas and buy us some time. Now, the question is, well, the first time someone says to you, I want to release 50 million barrels so we have this energy here in the U.S. from our strategic hold. But it could be a savings account. It could be anything. Your next question is, how long is that going to last us?
Sure.
Right? And you have to figure out, your first question is, well, you're going to do 50 million barrels. How many barrels do we do a day?
Right.
Yeah. Because is this going to last us into the new year?
Yeah, is this going to make a dent?
We're going to get into Christmas
here? What is it?
Right. Well, I don't know. I'll tell you that we do about 20 million barrels a day.
Oh, shit. So a day and a half, 2 days.
I think this reporter's going to say 18, but it's probably more closer to 20. So 50 million gets you 2.5 days worth of oil.
And also, when it's the cheap gas day, we're probably going to do more than 20 million.
Yeah, people are going to be hoarding and topping off. But she's doing a press conference, and somebody says, well, I'll let you, they'll ask the question that we'd all ask first if someone said we're going to free up 50 million barrels of oil.
Sure.
Thank you, Madam Secretary, for doing this. There are various figures about this, so I'm curious if you know, how many barrels of oil does the U.S. consume per day?
I don't have that number in front of me. Sorry.
So some suggest it's about 18 million, which would suggest you're releasing less than 3 days' worth of supply from the petroleum reserve. Why is that enough?
She doesn't have that number in front of her. She's the energy secretary.
She's in charge.
Yeah. Brad, what's your child's name, or do you not have it in front of you?
I have it.
You have it in your head?
I'm just not going to release it.
I love I don't have that number in front of me. Yeah. I'm not the energy secretary. And I heard from 10 different sources about 20 million a day.
Google, you can Google 2 things and you can more or less get it.
Now, that ain't stupid. That's just liar.
But in that case, you're saying that when you're an authority figure, stupid makes you look better?
Well, anything is better than liar.
Right.
So stupid, like, and
I
it's
just didn't
also
know.
it's also a play on words. I don't have that number in front of me.
Right.
I know you don't have that number in front of me. You're the energy secretary.
You should know it.
Should
What
be in
is
your
the
head.
number?
Yeah.
Right. And she knows the number. How could you be the energy secretary and not know? The reporter knows the number.
Right.
He didn't have it in front of him. He just knows the
has
number.
Siri.
And
that's right.
And it's that thing. It's kind of like what you said, where you have to anticipate that question is going to be asked.
I think
right
you
after
do,
you say,
and that's why if you say I don't know that number, that means what? You're the energy secretary? No, but if you word it just right and go, I don't have that number in front of me.
Right.
But it's like saying, what's your home address? What's your kid's name? What kind of car do you have? I don't have that information in front of me.
Well, then I would imagine.
So if we asked Andy, like, how many women other than Gina have you been with since you've been married?
Fuck you.
He should be like, well, I don't have that number in front of me.
Last 8 weeks.
Right. Speaking of what's in front of him, you need to add one to that.
So wouldn't the next logical question be, well, how long do you think 50 million barrels is going to last us?
Yeah. Well, first off, she could have said, I don't know, I think it's between 15 and 20 or some version of that.
Look, we're doing the best we can.
I don't have the number in front of us.
Okay.
But it also made me think, how strategic is this? And I don't know what's in it. I maybe there's 80 million barrels or something. I'm trying to think of
All in all?
And who it's be a tough neighborhood to live in. Like, I live on top of the strategic oil supply.
Don't throw a match down the toilet.
What is the strategic oil? It's like, how many barrels do we? Because if we don't have more than 4 days, I'm going to be pissed.
Well, according to, the quickest of Google searches, and I do have this number in front of me, ABC News says we have 605 million barrels in the reserve.
So we can get a few days in, but we're 20 million a day. So the 50 gets us 2.5.
This is a personal thing of mine, but this happens every few presidents. There's always a gas crisis. And they always talk about going into the reserves. The reserves are there in case we have an insane situation where the whole country has to survive off of these these things.
In case
for
of World
4
War
days.
or a meteor.
Yeah. That's what we've got it there for. So I don't agree with ever really tapping into it, but that's just me.
Well, also, all it does, I think Biden was talking about it when he was with Anderson Cooper a few weeks ago. He's saying you could bring it down about 18 cents a gallon, which if you're from Iowa, where our caller was, that might make a difference. California, we get from $5.37 to $5.19. That doesn't really put a dent in our shit. If you're somewhere where the number starts with a 2, then maybe the 18% is a larger percentage of it.
Why don't states like ours with a comically high tax just suspend the tax on it?
Well, then they stop getting paid, Gina.
Right.
Yeah, but then we're just paying for the actual gas. We're not paying for the upsell.
I listen, I concur. I always say I see the poor guys who work. I used to be one of them. They drive a truck. It's filled with gardening equipment. They can't drive a Prius or they can't afford an electric car. They got to drive a big Ford F-250 diesel. It's got all the shit in the back of it. They're never in the neighborhood. If you think about where they live in Sunland.
It's a haul.
The place they're going to is Brentwood. They got to get over the canyon. Gas is going to be kicking the shit out of those guys.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. We have Billboard's top 100 artists of all time. Is that correct?
I hope Two Live Crew is on the list.
That'd be nice.
Yeah. Well, it's
Let me ride that donkey.
Do we have? Where's Me So Horny? I'd like to. I want to hear some Me So Horny as well. Number 1, good news. The Beatles.
Sure.
There you go.
Number 2.
Yeah. Me and my lady get down to this. Right. Pump that pussy.
Got another 2 rounds of this.
Sitting at home with my dick in my hand. So I got the black book for a freak to call. Pick up the telephone, then dialed the 7 digits. Said, yo. Oh, here's the lyrics. Yeah, I call her. What'd she say? Yeah, yo, this Marquise, baby. Are you down with it? She was down. She came to my house. She undressed in a rapid fashion. I was very excited. The boys might say I went from 6 to midnight. Then I mounted her, with her consent, of course.
Oh, yeah.
And started thrusting. I was very horny. I was enjoying myself immensely. I believe she was too. She moaned several times in passion. I believe she even called me her father figure.
Ah, daddy.
Wow.
Yeah, that was the word she used. Were you there?
No, I just did the math.
Oh. And, you know, she wanted to switch positions. So I put her in a position that's popularized with our canine brethren.
Oh,
doggy style, right.
Wait, you know, is that the name
No,
of it?
I wasn't there.
Oh, I'm very shocked. Anyway, and then I proceeded to thrust quite a few times. I grabbed her hair, pulled it back, and she mentioned that she liked to be choked. So I put one hand around her airway and slowly made my grip tighter. Now, thankfully, it may have caused her some pain, but we have a safe word. The safe word is Peter Jennings.
All right. And scene.
Wait, I haven't come yet.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, Ted. Go ahead. Yeah, no, you're right. That's poor attitude.
Wait, I just came.
You came.
Okay, hold on.
All
We can proceed.
Just recalling it. Sorry, I hear Peter Jennings and
yeah.
Gets me right back there.
Second greatest of all time, Hot 100 artists. A little surprised by this one, Madonna.
Okay.
Well, this isn't like the singing Hall of Fame. This is just overall artists.
I guess you're right. Elton John, number 3.
Sure.
Elvis, number 4. Mariah Carey, number 5.
Okay.
I think people forget. I think maybe Mariah Carey's become a cartoon character.
Yes, she has.
Yeah. People kind of forget.
Mariah Carey
all the hits
is only on that list because of that Christmas song.
Oh, really?
Well, she was a genuine like megastar in the 90s.
Oh, I know she was, but
the
Madonna
notes she
didn't
hits.
write a Christmas song.
That's true.
The money that comes to you
That's
if you
mailbox
get
money.
a Christmas song in major rotation, we're talking worldwide, every March you are making a ton of money.
Yeah.
And Mariah Carey's Christmas song, I believe they just released that it's eclipsed every other Christmas song in play.
Combined.
Wow.
No, not combined,
Yeah,
just
I'm
by
just saying,
most.
it's
It's the
huge,
most played
yeah.
Christmas song ever now.
I believe Two Live Crew
Had a Christmas song.
had a Christmas song. Several songs of theirs talk about throwing white stuff on a woman's face.
Oh, that's not snow.
Yeah.
No, I believe that's snow, isn't it?
No, you think it's like frosting, like an oatmeal cookie? That's not.
It's it's a very happy substance. They talk about having childlike glee when they see it.
Hey, Ted Koppel, it's called Jack's Frost, and it's dripping from her nose.
There you go, Jack's Frost.
How do you know that? All right. Number 6, Stevie Wonder.
Okay. So
The order's weird.
So far, you can debate the order, but okay,
Yeah.
everyone there kind of should be there.
Nothing's an outrage.
I'm a little surprised Janet Jackson above her brother Michael Jackson.
Well, see, there you go.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
Go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
Whitney Houston, number 9, and
9.
Rihanna,
Yeah, I'm confused.
Now, is this
number
so?
10.
So this is Billboard.
Mm-hmm.
Billboard.
Yeah. Greatest of all time Hot 100 artists.
Is this how long
Okay.
how long each of them has stayed on the Hot 100?
Because I'm thinking, well, where the fuck are the Rolling Stones?
Right. Where's Dolly?
But then at the same time, if it's like specifically the Billboard list, then I guess that
it's pop.
Yeah.
All right, we have the Totally Topical TiVo Trivia game to play. First, I'll tell you about podium business owners. You know, there aren't enough hours in the day to waste playing phone tag. The list of customers you need to reach doesn't get any shorter, especially when business is good. That's why local businesses everywhere turn to Podium. Podium makes every interaction as easy as sending a text. So everything you make your business can be done faster, can be done greater, can be done better. Plus, gathering reviews, collecting payments, and even marketing is easy. You just press send. You won't just free up more time. You'll grow your business. Close deals with customers before the competition even has a chance to call them back. It's Podium, right, Dawson?
Join more than 100,000 businesses that already use Podium to streamline their customer interactions. Get started for free at podium.com/Adam or sign up for a paid Podium account and get a free credit card reader. Restrictions apply. That's podium.com/Adam.
All right, take a quick break. Brad Williams is going to hang with us, and we'll play the Totally Topical TiVo Trivia game right after this.
It's time to check Adam's voicemail.
Hey, Adam. John, 40, from San Diego. You always talk about female impersonators. What would be a male impersonator? I'll take my answer offline.
You can leave us a message at 888-634-1744.
Chris Jericho.
That's right.
How dare you? Besmirch the name of the great Chris Jericho, founder of the Chris Jericho Rock and Wrestling Ranger at Sea.
You kind of wonder if, what's his name? Aquaman?
Oh, Momoa.
Jason Momoa.
You know,
he's almost too manly.
It kind of started off as David Hasselhoff, you know what I mean? But they're more discreet about it now.
Yeah.
He flies under the radar in his sort of male. Now, he makes a lot of videos of him like throwing axes and he's got a Jeep parked behind him.
Yeah, he's lumbersexual. Well, in that case, wouldn't The Rock be a male impersonator?
I guess his vids are like the stuff he does. He's always like working out, but then some of it's like for comical effect.
Yeah.
Okay, I got one.
I think you can kind of tell by the vehicle. Like there's a lot of guys in LA driving a Ford Raptor, which is essentially 37-inch snow tires on it with 14 inches of suspension travel. They're just going up and down PCH and down Sunset Boulevard. Like there's no, you're driving a off-road Baja trophy truck in a city with the worst traffic in the world.
Sure.
Gas is $6 a gallon. There's no plausible. I never see a load of plywood in the back or anything. You're just driving that fucking thing because you like being thought of as a masculine male.
Yeah, I would say, and this is a little bit of a, like, it's not a traditional actor, but Dan Bilzerian.
Oh, yeah, the influencer, let's say.
Yeah.
That's a great answer.
Yeah, I think he's a male impersonator.
That's good.
Where he just goes, what do men do? Okay, they shoot guns, they fuck women, they do all that. So he's that kind of thing for me.
Yeah, that's kind of we're looking at him right now. Yeah.
Thickly bearded.
Yeah, you do an impersonation of it's basically if you were an alien and you came to this country and somebody said, we want you to impersonate a male, what would you do? You'd grow a beard, you'd get a truck.
You get some glamour muscles.
You'd always get yourself in front of women all the time.
Yeah.
And All right. Good call. Do we have the intro to the game, by the way?
Let's play Totally Topical TiVo Trivia time today.
All right, so these are TiVo descriptions of movies, all movies, right? And we leave out the stars' names, and you have to do it based on the TiVo description of the movie. Yell your name out if you think you have it. I always go with Pete because it's got a hard P at the front, as opposed to the soft Adam. And Dawson will read the description.
Should I go with Brad or Ted?
Oh, Ted. Go with Ted.
Ted.
An undercover cop and a mole in the police attempt to identify each other.
Pete?
Ted.
Pete.
The Departed?
From 2006, The Departed,
shit,
yeah.
of course.
I didn't see that whole movie.
done.
That was a good one.
Yeah, one of my favorites.
A cynical expatriate American cafe owner struggles to decide whether or not to help his former lover and her fugitive husband escape the Nazis.
Gina. Inglourious Bastards?
In French Morocco.
Oh, fuck.
Pete. Casablanca.
Yes, from 1942.
Wow.
God.
That was
so lucky.
That was an old one.
I'm like, was this starring The Rock? I have no idea.
That was Inglourious Bastards.
Yeah.
They really went down a weird trail for that one. But at some point,
cafe owner,
you hear
French.
Nazi.
Kind of. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
A thief who steals corporate secrets through the use of dream-sharing technology.
Oh, fuck.
Ted.
Inception.
From 2010.
Yeah.
Inception.
I was about to
Never
say,
saw it.
We had the
Very good.
We
Everyone
had the
tells me to
QAnon
see it.
Shaman thing, so I was about to say Insurrection, but
Yeah.
that was not that movie. Okay, Inception.
3 actors accept an invitation to a Mexican village.
Pete. Oh, shit. The Three Amigos.
From 1986.
I'm real slow on the buzzer today.
So good.
A high school teacher meets his match in an overachieving
Gina. Election.
from 1999.
Wow.
Wow.
Well done.
That's a good movie.
A paleoclimatologist
That's a job?
must make a daring trek from Washington, D.C. to New York City.
Oh.
Gina. I've never
Pete.
seen this, but is it National Treasure?
No.
To reach his son, who's trapped in the crosshairs of Pete.
Oh, shit. 3 days and whatever. It's a Dennis Quaid movie.
What?
Yeah, we can't accept that as an answer.
What is it?
Yeah, it's one of these
Ted?
disaster movies. I don't know it. Keep going.
This is embarrassing. I've seen this movie 28 times. I can do all the dialogue to it. I just can't do the name of it.
Of a sudden international storm, which
Deep Impact,
which plunges the planet into a new ice age.
We all give up.
The Day After Tomorrow. Brad, Day After Tomorrow. Ted.
From
Day After Tomorrow.
2004.
Yeah. Wow.
Not a bad movie.
That was Quaid in that movie? You didn't go. Oh.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't go with Jake Gyllenhaal?
Well,
wasn't he in that movie?
Gyllenhaal was his kid.
Oh, okay.
And then
I've never seen it, so I don't know.
Emmy Rossum.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, from Shameless.
Yeah.
When a simple jewelry heist goes incredibly wrong, the surviving criminals begin to suspect that one of them is a police informant.
Why are these all such dude movies?
Oh, Pete.
Pete.
Reservoir Dogs.
From 1992.
Yeah,
I'm an idiot.
Did you just go through Adam's DVD cabinet for this?
I could have gotten that one.
Pete needs one more to win.
Okay.
A literature student's life changes forever when she meets a handsome yet tormented billionaire.
Gina.
Gina.
Is this 50 Shades of Grey?
From 2015, this is 50 Shades of Grey.
Now
That's the description. It's not the billionaire. It's not the billionaire ties her up, spanks her with a leather
Cat of nine tails.
I never saw it.
You
Should I
didn't
see
miss-
it?
No, God, no.
They never say the safe word, Peter Jennings.
The drug-induced utopias of 4 Coney Island people.
Gina.
God,
I hated this movie. Hold on. It's Requiem for a Dream.
From 2000,
Wow.
Requiem for a Dream. Pete has 4, Gina has 3, Brad has 2. Games to 5. A violent police detective investigates a brutal murder.
Pete. The Bad Lieutenant.
That might involve a manipulative and seductive novelist.
Oh.
Come on, Gina.
Novelist.
Seductive novelist?
Name Sharon Stone.
Oh, Gina. Basic Instinct.
From 1992, it is Basic Instinct.
You know, I've never seen it.
That's pretty good.
She's a novelist.
Okay.
A pair.
I mean, I froze framed the one scene
I know,
a
me too.
million times. I've never seen the movie.
Pete and Gina tied at 4.
Okay. I got that one.
A pair of underachieving cops are sent back to a local high school.
Gina.
21
Jump Street.
From 2012 and for the win.
How did I pull ahead on that game?
Jump Street. Tune in for more Totally Topical TiVo Trivia time tomorrow or Tuesday.
All right. We'll
that one
take ourselves a break, and we'll come back. We'll do the news with the grand champion, Gina Grad, right after this.
So I know this is technically from last week, but we have to talk about it. It's too fantastic. The Women's March organization has apologized after sending out an email reporting an average donation of $14.92, which reflects the year that Christopher Columbus landed in the Americas. The tweet went out the week of Thanksgiving and said, quote, "We apologize deeply for the email that was sent today. $14.92 was our average donation amount this week. It was an oversight on our part to not make the connection to a year of colonization, conquest, and genocide for indigenous people, especially before Thanksgiving." Now, many people respond to this. Many asked, like, are they kidding? Like, is this satire? But no.
Well, wait, so they're just reporting a number.
That was the average number that came in as a donation amount, and somebody must have gotten very upset for them to publicly apologize.
I guarantee if the average number was $6.66, they'd be like, "Eat a dick, honky."
Yeah.
We don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
But that's the mark of the Satan, and I'm deeply religious. Yeah, well, fuck right off.
Yeah.
They would have never issued an apology.
No.
Oh, it's getting a little tough, because now we're getting to some realm of donated amounts, and like now we're trying to figure out if the guy's giving the flashing the white pride signal.
Right.
It's just like the band from the Navy game was holding their look at that guy put his.
No, he said the play was A-okay.
Yeah.
There's like a guy was driving a truck. He worked for like the utility company or something, and he waved or he did something.
He was
like
I saw
his
fingers.
His finger touches forefinger touches thumb. Like okay, we gotta get a little more concrete with our evidence here. I'm not so sure that this is an attack on the indigenous people, or that guy's a white supremacist because he touched one finger to the other finger in a picture.
But a number is a number. What, are they going to lie and change the number?
So you can't do like math anymore.
It's not their fault that was the donation amount.
It's just a weird
I'm sorry
thing to
that on your
apologize
third
for.
grader's math test we did 55 plus 14.
That was
I'm
a sexual
sorry.
deviant.
It's a sexual deviant. We get it. That number. I don't know. I find that number delightful.
Did we know what the original? See, to me, what was the original tweet or the original email? They just went, "We've raised money, and this is how much."
That's the average donation amount. Yeah.
There comes a time when you just have to, when someone says, "Well, I'm offended," you just have to say, "Fuck off."
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay,
well,
great.
Yes, and that's what we were talking about last week.
Well, they crossed the line here.
They crossed your line.
Oh, they crossed their line. That's right.
But that's the thing. It's like, they're just putting out a number. We talked about this a few days ago. Like, if I say something that could have an innuendo, but that's not what I meant, and you attach the innuendo, you're the asshole.
Yeah,
that's
me. Because like they're just doing math, and the only person that should be offended at math is Adam because he can't do it.
That's right. That's the one subject I can't.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's a bad joke.
So the email was sent out with the subject line $14.92, and then the body of the email said, "We have an important favor to ask." And then subscribers to the group's email list were then asked if they'd be willing to donate $14.92.
Can I say this too? When Trump was the president, there was a lot of marches and a lot of noise and a lot of Madonna and a lot of this, that, and the other. All right, now Biden's the president. Are all the problems gone away for the ladies? Like,
I think we did
puff of smoke. It's all done.
Ashley Judd is no longer necessary.
I'm just saying. I feel like if you got problems, you got problems.
To
Just
be fair,
because you got new dick in the office doesn't mean your problems have evaporated. I feel like there should be some more marches and the pussy, the knit pussy hats and all that
Then
stuff.
Kamala would have to get involved. That'd be a sticky wicket.
I guess Biden's not grabbing the pussy, and that's the problem.
He's smelling the pussy.
He's smelling it. He's sniffing it.
Sniffing the pussy.
That sounds like a catchy tune. I'm never going to stop doing this.
Good.
It's way too much fun.
Well, a really sad statistic, and I don't think anyone's surprised by it, but the United States recorded a record number of deaths by drug overdose during the height of the pandemic. That was released recently by the CDC. So in the 12 months following the beginning of COVID-related lockdowns, that was last March, or March of 2020, the U.S. recorded more than 103,000 deaths by OD. That's a 28.5% jump from the same time period the year before. Experts say the increase can be attributed to people feeling isolated and struggles, including job loss and loss of loved ones. Dr. Paul Christo, he's a professor over at Johns Hopkins. He says the economic and emotional toll on people led to this, and especially involving prescription painkillers like fentanyl, which we've talked ad nauseum about.
Yep.
Well, that's horrible news, but the home baking of sourdough bread has gone up an astounding 241%.
Yeah.
So
a lot of yeast infections.
There's a little ray of sunshine.
You got some bad, you got some good.
Well, it is.
We're doing all right.
It's kind of true with people when you lock them down or you do something to them, you go, I'm either going to slam fentanyl or I'm going to go online and learn how to make sushi while I'm on a rowing machine.
Yeah.
We don't just stay as is.
No.
We won't stay in the middle. Some people want fucking learned a second language and how to play the banjo, and other people are like, I'm going to cook bath salts up in the kitchen and make my own. It's like we just can't just hang out in the middle somewhere.
No, because the middle doesn't exist. So
Right. So you have to pick that direction. And so sadly, I mean,
because I guarantee you, Nick Offerman during lockdown just like made
canoes.
So many canoes.
so many canoes. He can't give them away.
Yeah.
But remember when people wouldn't talk about this because it seemed very I don't want to say anti-science, but remember you said, or I think you said, like, these are, just wait, there's going to be, depression through the roof.
Yep.
There's going to be OD through the roof because people are so isolated.
Yeah, and I know that, like, spousal abuse had gone up because people are just stuck inside, and this is
my spousal abuse numbers went down 13%. So, yeah,
really,
kind of a winner.
Even a broken clock.
So you kind of looked in the mirror and said, "You know what? Not today."
Yeah, I'm gonna
keep your hands in your pockets.
Bake some rye instead. Give my shoulder a rest.
It's great.
Again, if we unintended consequences, that's the whole COVID thing. Like, okay, locking kids out of school, fantastic idea. Oh, really? I don't know. A lot of them aren't making it back, or there's a lot of many things you don't want to go along with that. Masking has a version of this. Distancing has a version of lockdowns. Like, there's the economy, there's work, there's mental health. Like, nothing's free.
No.
You can't just go, don't do this.
They will have an equal and opposite reaction.
Yeah, and the thing about this stuff, the unintended consequences don't show up the next day.
Right.
They trickle out over the course of the next 10 years. And you start checking the kids' test scores from the year they missed in the third grade, and that takes place down the road.
We'll just fudge that. We'll just make anything 60 or above an A. But I heard this, to your point, I heard this on a news podcast. They were interviewing a teacher. She's a home ec teacher. And she said, even I can tell the difference in the kids being home a year. I gave them their instructions. I gave them their ingredients. And, I said, go find your partner and get started. And I looked up and they were just standing there.
Right.
Like, they forgot how to interact with each other. They forgot, like, oh, okay, I'll do this, you do this. Like, they just stood there staring at me.
Yeah. Sad.
Yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of it, too, as we're talking about, maybe referring back to one of the conversations we had about the cruise, which is with Kate. A lot of fentanyl coming over the border, and a lot of that stuff's getting baked into stuff. And
it's poison.
Which I don't understand that mindset. Like, I wouldn't... Like, if I introduced a new joke that killed a third of my audience every time I told it, I don't think I'd keep doing that joke.
So you're saying if you were a Mexican drug lord, you would not be...
You'd lay off the knock-knock joke?
Yeah, yeah. I'd stop lacing my stuff with fentanyl. It's so horrible. It's so bad.
It does seem like bad business to kill your client.
Yeah, I agree. I don't... I mean, as P.T. Barnum said, there's a junkie born every second or
That's
something
exactly
like
what he
that.
said,
But
yeah.
maybe they just feel like, well, we'll get a lot more. There's always someone to step up. Next man up.
Right. Well, let's stay with the medical field, but this is actually some good news. A nasal vaccine aimed at preventing and slowing Alzheimer's is now being tested. It's a trial over at Brigham and Women's Hospital in Boston. It'll include 16 participants between 60 and 85. They're all early symptomatic of Alzheimer's, otherwise healthy. They'll receive 2 doses of the vaccine 1 week apart. See what happens. So if you're curious how this works, the statement from the hospital explains the vaccine. It uses a substance called Protolin, which stimulates the immune system. So this is straight from the statement. Protolin is designed to activate white blood cells found in the lymph nodes on the sides and back of the neck to migrate to the brain and trigger clearance of beta amyloid plaque. That is one of the biggest hallmarks of Alzheimer's. If it goes well, a much larger trial will go on, and then, we can get this at Rite Aid at some point.
It'd be nice, except for all the Rite Aids will be closed.
That's right.
Because they've been looted.
That's true.
And by the way, you're not supposed to say loot anymore.
What are you supposed to say? Oh, because it's a...
It's got
because it's a
racial
guitar?
pejorative.
It
It assigns a race to the activity.
Is that like when Obama said thugs and everyone freaked out?
Yeah, thugs is a version of that.
Okay. Sure.
Looting now, I no longer say wilding as pertains to public pools. There's certain
What do you
terms.
say instead of loot? Take without purchase?
Yeah, there's an article on it. It's sort of technically right because looting, by definition, means there's during a riot or something like that. If you're just doing a caravan down to the middle of San Francisco to get yourself some Louis Vuitton bags, that's not technically looting.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So you're just a burglar.
I guess, although that feels quaint.
Yeah.
Burglar
I've
almost
been
feels
burgled.
It feels like pickpocket did 25 years ago.
Yeah, it's almost nice. I've been burglarized. Well, that's delightful.
Yeah. We should all be so lucky.
Sure.
Remember a while back we talked about that Theodore Roosevelt statue outside of the American Museum of Natural History, and it has to go.
Oh, yeah.
Well, they found a home for it. It is considered problematic now, been criticized for symbolizing colonialism and racism, but it's found a new home now that it'll be removed. ABC News reports that the Theodore Roosevelt Presidential Library has agreed to take the statue for a long-term loan. The agreement will let the library, which is slated to open in 2026 in Medora, North Dakota.
Theodore Roosevelt Library still isn't open?
I'm a little confused about that.
Yeah.
While considering a display that would enable it to serve as an important tool to study the nation's past. And just as a little footnote to that, the university in Georgia has put a moratorium on changing any of the buildings' names. They said these are buildings we learn from history. Going forward, we'll consider naming, but we're not going and changing all the buildings' names.
Right. All right. It's kind of interesting because stadiums are getting renamed, Bitcoin
Crypto.
Arena. Let's make that the George Floyd Library. Come on, people.
Yeah.
If you know the real victims here with all the statues being taken down, as I'm looking at this one of him mount his trusty steed, the real victims are the horses. They didn't own slaves. They didn't oppress any indigenous people, but they're coming down just as fast as the racists that are on top of them, right?
That's a very good point.
Half these things that are coming down is a fucking magnificent horse. Mm-hmm. It had a name. You probably love the horse.
Yeah.
They probably use it as a model to make the statue. Like photographs,
the
paintings,
steed.
and drawings. And now the horse and their kin.
Yeah.
They have to grieve.
Something all horses can aspire to
Right.
is now taken away.
Well, what about all the horses that were in New York and, the statues, and they have the horse-drawn carriage,
That's right.
and those horses could walk around Central Park and look up and go one day.
Yeah, with
One
pride.
day.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But now we got a bunch of fucking hippie stoners tearing down the goddamn statue, and they never leave the horse.
No.
Leave the fucking horse.
That's not a bad idea.
Kick the racists. And also, I'd be listening. You know what I mean? If they go, we don't
horse
like
did
the
nothing
statue.
wrong.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
but the horse.
Trigger didn't do anything.
How could you, first off, you can't colonialize you can have a guy who's colonizing on top of you,
right?
But you're just every bit the victim that the indigenous people were.
Yeah,
sure. You had to drag around a racist who are 10 to 20% heavier than indigenous people.
Do it to a tribute to the horse. It's strength.
That's right.
Had to drag around a racist all damn day.
Yeah.
Let's celebrate the horse.
If they can make a movie about it, War Horse, they can make a statue.
Yeah,
Exactly.
so leave the horse. That's my new thing.
Is that going to be your platform, your campaign platform? Leave the horse.
And or
He's gonna do a new country song about it.
That's right.
When you remount the racists, you put them backwards on a bronze donkey. And that's
there you go.
That's
So
a walk of shame right there.
Now he's humiliated.
Yeah, look at that guy. He doesn't know what direction this country's going. You know what I mean? Leave the horse.
He's you could say he's a backwards jackass.
That's right.
Exactly.
Didn't Robin Williams play him in Night at the Museum?
Oh, yeah, he did.
Problematic.
That's right. Well, I'm looking at the statue. I'm like, that does look a little like Robin Williams.
Problematic.
Did a good job.
They just
can't watch that movie anymore.
No.
They got Jefferson out of the New York whatever.
Gotta go.
Gotta go. Okay.
Well, who do you put up? Because was it oh God, what's her name? The one who they had to rename the school, or they weren't going to give her the name of the school in San Francisco.
Boxer.
Yeah, was it Feinstein?
Feinstein,
Yeah,
Harriet Tubman.
One of them. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But what? So I guess we just can't have statues. The only statues now are of coaches out front of college football stadiums. We got Nick Saban.
Joe Paterno.
Tell that to Joe Pa. He's gone.
We got nothing.
We got nothing.
Is it just LeBron everywhere all the time?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's got LeBron.
All right. Discovery Plus hopes you're not tired of hearing about Johnny Depp and Amber Heard's contentious divorce, because they are streaming a drama in 2 parts, a docuseries about it. According to the press release, Johnny versus Amber, which I will probably watch, will debut soon. It'll chronicle the story of the breakdown of their relationship and how it tipped into the celebrity court case of the decade. This series will look at the 2-year marriage, the divorce, and their lengthy court battles from each other's perspectives. The statement adds, Johnny's film will portray that he found himself married to a Machiavellian liar who would stop at nothing to protect her image, while Amber's film explores how she married the man of her dreams, only to see him turn into a violent, drug-fueled monster.
Wait, so they're doing
Rashomon style.
Oh, they're doing 2 movies, one from the
2 parts,
one from the perspective of each. Wow. You know what? I'm a huge fan of any high-profile dysfunctional relationship being broadcast out there, because then I always just get to look at my wife and go, "See,
yeah,
I'm
done
not
pretty
that.
good.
I don't have an $80,000 a month wine habit. I'm fine.
That's right.
I'm not in debt. I don't beat you.
Yeah.
You know, and then I'm sure I'll look at the Amber stuff and go, oh, God, I married a saint.
Absolutely.
It's great.
They're going to have to find some hot actors and actresses.
Yeah, who plays 2 of the hottest people on the planet?
Sure.
Because normally it's the hot chick who frumps herself up to play the serial killer, but this ain't that.
Oh, you got to do... There's a new Pam and Tommy Lee thing coming out.
They're gorgeous.
Lily James?
Yes.
Is that who it is?
Yes, it is. She's Pamela.
She's from Baby Driver, and then they made her to she's Pam. She looks like Pam.
I'm not a fan, but...
Not?
No, of her I am, but...
Oh, okay.
But then the guy's got enough work, but for Tommy, come on, Pete Davidson. I mean, he's got that big dick mojo.
He's got a hog.
He's got the hog. He's slender.
He's got weird tattoos.
Tall.
Yeah.
Sebastian Stan.
Goofy and lovable at the same time.
There you go.
Nick Offerman's in it. Have you guys seen the trailer for that? We should watch it.
No,
It's
I'm
good.
into it. Is it going to be a feature?
Well, it's Seth Rogen. It's his thing. Is it a feature or is it on Hulu? It'll air on Hulu.
Okay, so it'll be like a miniseries.
Yeah, if you can grab that, it's a pretty great trailer. And while you're doing that, would you like to know Oxford Dictionary's word of the year? And we're really slumming it with what we consider a word.
Oh, boy. What is it?
The word of the year is vax. Defined as a colloquialism meaning either vaccine or vaccination as a noun and vaccinate as a verb. It was relatively rare until obviously this year. That's all anybody talked about. In September, vax appeared more than 72 times more frequently than the year before. Meanwhile, in Collins Dictionary, the word of the year, again, not a word, NFT. which is non-fungible token, which none of us heard of before 6 months
It's called
ago.
an acronym. It's
That's
not a word.
exactly
Let's
right.
respect the English language, please.
If you're going to be a dictionary.
Jesus Christ.
Doesn't an acronym have to form something like GLAD?
PETA.
Or OSHA or something?
NIFT.
Yeah. It forms
I think that's
Nifty.
just initials, but I think an acronym you got to make.
Oh, does an
something out of
acronym
it.
have to be like NASA?
NASA,
Right.
OSHA.
Something
I
like
think.
that.
I mean, Chris can.
I don't
can
know,
look
but
it up.
Those aren't real
NFT
words.
stands for 3 different words.
Yeah,
Indeed.
So
I
NFT
agree.
is still not a word.
No, I
You're right, Adam. An acronym, you say it as if it was spelled like that, like NASA.
Okay, I did not know that. I just thought it was a collection of letters.
And you were a horrible student, you say?
Well, it's funny because I remember
He just learned to read.
when I was in junior high, they had the MGM program, the gifted program.
Okay.
And I of course was not
asked
invited
to be
to
invited.
participate with that group. And even if I said, well, how about I just hang out and watch, like it would collectively lower the score of anyone who else was in the room.
Right.
But I remember being like 13 and I was like, what is MGM? And I think we liked it because it was like Hollywood
Right,
and MGM.
Metro Golden Mayer.
And it was like, well, that stands for mentally gifted minds. And I was like, well, isn't mental and mind kind of we're kind of in the same area here with that? And they're
If
like,
you're
we're
gifted.
going with MGM.
Okay.
But
Mentally
I think
gifted
they were
minds.
trying to shoehorn the acronym.
Yeah.
in.
Yeah.
You know
That's
what
not
I mean?
great.
It's a little too hard.
You know who does?
think-
You know the greatest acronymist of all
Oh.
is Gary Busey.
Gary Busey.
Gary Busey
Yes.
started firing out acronyms toward the end of the career. I haven't heard him in a while, but
You can like give him any word and he'll turn it into an acronym. It's a whole thing. You just
Yes.
say like horse, and then he'll do something.
So yeah, you're totally correct on the acronym thing. The word I should have said was abbreviation.
That's right.
that's
there
right.
you go.
Yeah.
Find me Gary Busey doing his crazy
Oh my God.
acronymics.
Oh, this is while you do that. This is the about a minute. Or is it 2 minutes? I can't tell from here.
Two
the
minutes.
trailer for the Pam and Tommy movie.
Okay.
It's Seth Rogen with Nick Offerman putting the tape in with the camcorder.
See what we got.
In between making canoes, Nick Offerman.
What is this? Just fast forward. Who's this guy? That's Tommy Lee's the drummer from Motley Crue. Where did you get this? Just keep going forward.
I'm going to watch the shit out
Yeah,
of
this
this.
would be great.
Keep fast forward.
Better than The Dirt.
Okay. Holy
Look
shit,
at how
that's
she's a
Pamela
doppelganger.
Anderson. Yeah, just keep going. Go back. Whoa. Go back. Play. God damn. It's so private. It's like we're seeing something we're not supposed to be seeing.
Which seems
Which is
antiquated
kind
now.
of what makes it so hot. If this thing ever got out.
Wow, I'm watching this.
Yeah, this looks great.
Done and done.
Every second that passes, this tape could be spreading.
Baby, we will get it back.
Sounds like it.
It's not a big deal to me. I'm on that tape, same as you.
No, not like me, I know.
Here we go.
What the hell is this?
Yeah.
I talked
man.
to Tommy Lee all about that, and it's like crazy. I think they were in Europe, and they're getting the house remodeled, and he had that moment where they had everything in a safe because they're remodeling the house, and they brought the safe outside, and they had it hidden behind like a throw rug or big Afghan rug or something that they had in the garage, and like he was in the kitchen. And someone's saying, like, you got to turn on this TV or turn on your computer or something. And he's like, the tape's it's in the safe, which is in the garage.
Yeah.
And they're like, you better go check. And he walked out, and the carpet was still up. And like pulled the carpet down, and the safe was gone. And That's when he knew. We have Busey doing. Sorry. All right. Let me hit concrete, and then we'll do Busey over here. Bodies need creatine to function properly, but only create about 50% of what we need. I talked to Dr. Drew about this the other day, and he's a big concrete fan, a creatine fan as well. Concrete's amazing molecule that provides the benefits of creatine without the negative side effects of poorly absorbed creatines from the past, like water retention, bloat, cramps, diarrhea, none of that with concrete. Concrete inventor tested it on himself and immediately began seeing the improvements on his athletic performance, cognitive abilities, and overall health. So he patented it. And by the way, I got some right here, and this is what I've been drinking while I've been in here. It's got a nice lemon limey flavor to it, so it tastes good too, and it's good for you. Concrete is the gift of better health, fitness, and immunity. And you can give it this holiday. It's the perfect stocking stuffer. Available at Walmart and Walmart.com, right, Dawson?
Enter to win a free membership to Planet Fitness for an entire year plus a $500 gift card. Take better control of your health, both body and mind. Get concrete into your life today. Register at concret.com/podcast. That's con-cret.com/podcast. Available now at Walmart and Walmart.com. Concrete is truly changing the fitness and health game. Go to concrete.com/podcast.
All right, we got Busey and his acronyms.
Buseyisms.
It's Buseyisms.
I have a hobby that's really wonderful because it helps me understand the meaning of one word with a sentence that reflects the word's meaning and definition. These are called Buseyisms because I take these from my own heart, my own spirit, my own soul, and make this interpretation so you can hear it and live by it. The word now, N-O-W, no other way.
Mm-hmm.
Time out. To ensure measured energy on using time. The word team, T-E-A-M. Together, everyone achieves more. And that's the foundation of the bottom line for Got V Mail, teamwork. So you can make your own Buseyisms. Just take your last name and put ism on the back of it. Like John Smith. Here's a Smithism. Like Ronald McDonald. Here's a McDonaldism. See how easy it is? The point is, you now have the ability to be happy with what I've given you to understand by Got V Mail. Everything that comes with it, everything you bring to it, everything you are with it, everything that is with you. It's all
This feels like it's
a
the end of a
combination of
infomercial.
And power.
Yeah, I think he sold us something.
There are 360 ways to see an elephant.
Is this a masterclass? Do I have to purchase this?
Take my money. I don't even know what I'm buying.
It's a new Tony Robbins seminar.
As long as Gary Busey's talking, I'm in.
You got to look up one of Danny Bonaducci's greatest films. It's called HOTS.
Oh,
it's an acronym.
yes, right.
Mm-hmm.
HOTS, I remember that. That
Hold
yes.
on to sex. HOTS. Oh, yeah.
That's right.
It's a film.
That had rotation on Cinemax.
I'm here to tell you.
You're right.
I give it a couple of spins back before the internet was as bountiful.
Right.
Before you had the Pam and Tommy tape.
As it is today.
Just to update HOTS, there it is. Some like it HOTS.
Mm-hmm.
Danny Bonaducci and a cast of Playboy Playmates get hot.
Yeah. Hold on to sex. I think in the opening they spell it out, but we can see if you can find that.
In case you couldn't tell by the title.
Do you remember what rappers, when everyone was calling girls thoughts?
No, I don't remember
She's
that
thought,
one.
That hoe over there.
Oh, is that an acronym?
Mm-hmm.
Hold on. Let me describe it. Do you know what a thought is?
Mm-mm.
It's that hoe over there.
Oh, that hoe over there. Oh,
thought.
that hoe over there. Oh, sorry. Yeah.
So, so in the movie, they went to Farronville University, also known as good old FU. And then the running gag was the source of the name HOTS. In the closing credits, they revealed it's an anagram of the first names of the 4 founders. But other characters in the film believe it stands for hands off those suckers or hold on to sex.
Wow.
I'm old school.
Yeah,
I go hold on to sex.
At one point, the girl claims it stands for help out the SEALs.
Well, we got to ask Bonaducci.
Yeah, you got to get him on the horn.
He really knows.
Yeah.
But if you find the trailer or the opening for it, that might be fun.
This movie has a trailer.
You know what? It's going to have?
There is a seal in the movie. I fast forward through
seal?
that shit because I'm not weird.
You know what this movie will have, but movies don't have anymore? Narrators, voiceovers.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I think we got
it. There it is. Hold on to sex.
Oh boy.
Get ready for the wildest, sexiest, craziest, most intellectually stimulating movie of the year.
To do everything within my power, using all my abilities, talents, and assets to win every man on campus.
So when you're pledging, you're a worm. Oh my.
Bonaducci.
When you got the hots, you got everything, and everybody is out to get the hots.
Hots stands for hold on to
Evil Dean.
Take one. Really?
Told you there's a seal in it.
What a bear.
The place.
Oh, pest control, miss. I'm looking for bugs.
I'm in here.
They play a strip football game at the end. This is hot.
Bonnie the robot. Does he do windows?
I do not do windows.
It's a pretty big budget.
Oh, you must touch him with 2 hands.
Lean to the right.
I think I'm going to be sick.
Then lean to the left.
Hots. We'll have to disperse. I told you they'd break this joint.
It's real cool. It's real crazy. Hots. It'll make your temperature rise.
Everyone knows what HOT stands for, and it's disgusting.
H-O-H-S. Hot! 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 Hot!
It's not a movie, Gina. It's a film.
Clearly.
Understand the difference?
It's an experience.
I'm going to have to sit down with my son and go, this is what we had.
Yeah.
We don't have what you're working with today.
I haven't seen that much camel toe since I went on the Birthright Israel trip. Holy shit.
That was back in the day where, like, we have an idea for a movie.
Right.
Okay?
Stop there. You're in.
What's the idea? Well, you know how, like, guys like sorority girls, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to have a bunch of sorority girls in the movie. Sold.
Yeah. Give it the green light.
That's it.
But here's the thing. In the casting, we got to make sure that 6 of the 12 cheerleader girls we're going to use, 6 of them have to be straight average.
Yes.
6 totally average girls, 2 have to be ugly. One of those has to be slightly chunky.
Oh, yeah.
And maybe an 8 and a 9.
The chunky chick's got to be horny, super horny too.
See, and that passed as progressive back then. They're like, well, there's an ugly girl in it.
Yeah, not a lot of diversity in
Fine.
terms of color.
No.
No. The diversity was in the scale of 1 to 10. A lot of 5s.
The diversity was in the bra.
Did you? Well, it's an acronym, nonetheless.
Hots.
It's called "Hold On to Sex." Who directed that?
This masterpiece.
What did they go on to direct? And how funny might it be if we found out, like, Handmaid's Tale or
Christopher
something?
Nolan.
Yeah, there's got to be something crazy and ironic that they did. Maybe a couple Madonna videos or something. Like
The director's Gerald Seth Sindel, and Hots was the last thing he was
well, that's
your swan song.
You're the top of the mountain.
Well, I mean,
in terms of your profession.
Once you make Hots, the only way to go is down.
Yeah.
So that's it.
He went on to teach. After that.
Did he have a long and storied career before that?
No.
Oh.
He directed a movie called Teenager 5 years before that, and then a movie called Double Stop in 68. This came out in Hots was 79. So.
And that's it with him? His career ended at Hots.
He just dabbled.
Yeah. When did he leave this earth?
Or was that like the stage name and then his real name is Ridley Scott?
I don't see a death date. He was born in 44, so
he could still be with us.
Still be with us. All right, let's bring it home, Gina Grad.
You got it. I'm Gina Grad, and that's the news.
Gina Grad. That was the news with Gina Grad.
I think I got Hots on DVD somewhere.
I would bet on that.
I think that once you start doing essentially like the Mystery Science Theater watch along parties, like you're obviously going to do Cobra, that you also have to do Hots.
He did Cobra.
He
did Cobra on the cruise with August.
Oh, yeah.
They did a watch along. It was great.
Gotta do Hots then next. Next Carolla cruise.
With Ted Koppel.
We can't clear Hots.
No.
We can clear Cobra. But
I can do it too.
Hots.
I can be there with you.
Ted,
Talk
what's
about
Hots stand for again?
Something about sex.
Holding on.
Hold on to sex. Much like I did with a young lady the other night. She was in a cowgirl position, but it seemed backwards.
Oh, that's reverse.
Yeah.
Oh.
We weren't there.
Reverse cowgirl.
Yeah. I think with a couple of tweaks, Norm Macdonald's in there somewhere.
with
Ted Koppel. Yeah.
Well, yeah, you just do that, and then I mean, Norm and Adam is kind of the same. He's kind of do a little grunt. Let's see. So Norm, that's right. You guessed it. Frank Stallone. Yeah, it's kind of there.
Yeah,
it's kind of in that ballpark. Yeah.
I'm going to be at the Bray Improv December 15th, taping some live shows with TJ Miller and Patrick Warburton, so you can come on out to that. And then we'll be at Helium December 22nd, 23rd, and my Truth Yeller series is coming out on the Daily Wire.
So funny.
You can enjoy that.
Now.
Oh, it's available now. That's right. You get 50% off at dailywire.com/Adam Carolla. Leno's going to be on that. Rob Riggle's going to be that.
Dailywire.com/Adam.
Sorry.
There it is.
El Rey Theater coming up December 1st. Chicago, and then Spokane Comedy Club, and Royal Oak, Michigan at the Comedy Castle. That'll be December 9th, and that is Brad Williams. And for more dates and tickets, BradWilliamsComedy.com is where you go. So until next time, I'm Pro for Gina Grad and Brad Williams saying mahalo.
You know what? I'm a huge fan of any like high profile dysfunctional relationship being broadcast out there, because then I always just get to look at my wife and go, see?
Yeah.
I'm not that.